Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, I know, right? It's been a nice little minute. I'm sorry, y'all. So, ever since ever since the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills went off, I don't really have much to review. You know, I could review this season, the new season of Manifest that I just watched. That was good. I could review La Brea again, but I stopped watching that. But anyway, we are here. The Crown, okay? You know, The Crown has so much material for at least a good another 3 freaking seasons. It's just the gift that keeps giving, right? Okay. And now they actually have an ending. So, we are here. So we're gonna go episode by episode. And I have not watched ahead. I literally have only watched one episode so far. So everything is gonna be in real time. So let's really get into it, okay? So, I'm so excited, y'all. This show is so good. Okay. So, we start off. Now, when we first we start off with a young Lizzie, okay? And she is, I think, what is she doing? She's like crowning like the ship. I guess like her new ship or whatever the case may be. Now, this is like in black and white, and I think it's using like the old actress, that played Elizabeth when she was younger. And it's just like a whole bunch of people. It is a load of people outside of this daggone dock, and everybody's just going crazy, 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 crazy. Then we flash forward. Now, from my understanding, we are in 1991. That's kind of when this takes place, from my understanding, around this first episode. So we fast forward, okay, and we see Lizzie, okay, she getting her stuff ready, getting herself together. Now, she's getting on the same ship that they just showed, but the biggest difference is the crowd. Now, in the black and white film, whole bunch of people, a ridiculous amount of people. This time, not so many, not a lot of press, not a lot of fans. And that automatically had me thinking, oh yeah, because people sick of the shit. And I forgot who said it to her, but somebody was saying in the background when she was getting on, how the people pretty much are tired of the monarchy. They feel like, and I wrote it down, they feel like it's expensive, a waste of time, and irrelevant. And to this day, people feel like that. I know a lot of people still feel like that when it comes to the monarchy. It's like a waste of time, to be quite honest. So, y'all. So then we go to Ain't Shit Charles, Lord. Ain't Shit Charles, okay? And somebody is talking to him about the polls and how the polls are pretty much talking about how Lizzie should possibly abdicate the throne and give it up to Charles. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Ew, ew. Never, never. Ooh, never, ever. Okay, and I'm almost positive. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but when he was looking out the window at the girl and the girl waved away, wasn't that Camilla? That wasn't Diana, right? That was Camilla from my understanding. So then we go over and we see Diana. Now let me tell you something. The casting, except for Prince Charles, because Prince Charles was not that fine. No way. No way, Jose, we seen him. But the person that they got to play Princess Diana, spot on, looks just like her. That thing was super scary. And it's pretty much, so that's the first time that we see her, this season. And I think like somebody is coming to her and telling her, okay, like you and a prince, you guys are about to go on your quote unquote second honeymoon. And she's just like, So as we can see, no matter how much time has gone on, Charles still ain't shit and Diana's still fed up. All right. So then we go over and we see, so everybody's starting to get ready to go on this quote unquote second honeymoon. So Diana and everybody, they pull up to the plane. Now, I don't know if Diana was talking to her assistant or, but it was somebody who was helping her. And she pretty much was saying how, she pretty much feel like this whole thing is full of shit. And, Charles is just doing it just to do it. And so you can see like Charles helping people out of the car. It's like a man and a woman and it's like a little family. And so she was like, if this is supposed to be a second honeymoon, why in the hell are you bringing your friend? So apparently it's their quote unquote second honeymoon, but he's bringing his best friend and his wife and his child that I think is like in remission from cancer or whatever. So she's over it. And so she was like, for all of this, you might as well have just brought Camille. You might as well have just brought her if this is what you was going to do. And we'll get to that in a second, back to how Charles ain't shit. We'll get back to that in a little bit. So we get a brief second of Lizzie looking at the paper. Oh, I don't call her Queen Elizabeth. She's Lizzie around these parts, okay? So we see Lizzie looking at the paper, and, you know, it's talking about how Charles and Diana, you know, had just set sail or whatever. And Lizzie, she's like, well, you know, I'm pretty glad it seems like they're doing good, because everybody knows that they're not. Y'all all knew from the beginning that this marriage was a sham. I don't want to say from the beginning, but from most of the part from the beginning, it was a sham. Y'all knew that. Pace yourself, so we're going to get there. So, then Diana and Charles, I don't know where they got to. They got to somewhere, and they getting on the boat, and you can still tell that everybody still loves Princess Diana. Everybody's calling her name. And I know for a fact that bothered Charles. I know, just like it bothered his daddy, I know it bothered him. So when they get on the ship, Charles pretty much lays out the like itinerary for where they're gonna go, what they're gonna see. And so Diana's like chiming in every now and again and being like, okay, well, are we gonna do this? And are we gonna do that? But the stuff she was chiming in for was stuff that the boys wanted to do, because now Harry and what's that man's name? What's that man's name? Prince Harry. Is it Charles? What is they daggone name? Oh, no. Is that who? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. See, now I got the monarchy all. Hold on. Give me a second. Charles. Edward. There we go. Edward and Harry. Okay, so now they're a little bit older, not super older like children at this point, but everything that she was bringing up is pretty much stuff that they wanted to my dog's doing the most, is stuff that pretty much they wanted to do. And so then at one point she was like, and then what about shopping? And so he was like, nobody wants to go shopping. The whole point of this is to go around and travel. Does anybody else want to go shopping? And it's like, why did you have to do that to her? Did you have to embarrass her? Because they was at a full table of like people or whatever. Like, did you have to embarrass her like that? No, you didn't. And that's why one of her kids jumped up and was like, we want to go shopping. You're not going to embarrass their mom. And I don't care if that didn't happen. I hope it happened. I'm tired of Charles. He's disrespectful and he's annoying, and he's not even like, ugh. Anyway, so then we have Charles talking to his friend that he brought and pretty much confided in him, saying that, you know, in public, you know, they do really, really well. They're like really, what is that word? Charismatic. There we go. And everybody loves them. They did not love y'all. They loved her. But behind closed doors, you know, that they do so terrible. And we all know that, girl. We all daggone know that. So then the Sunday paper is brought. Now, I think it was told to him, I think ahead of time. Yeah, that's what it was. It was brought to him ahead of time that the paper was going to come out pretty much with a big headline saying that, you know, talking about what the poll said, pretty much saying that they feel like the queen should abdicate the throne, and, you know, Charles should take over. So when that happens, is all of these different calls pretty much start going around because nobody wants the queen to see it. And as we all know, this is exactly how they get down, not just with the queen, but I feel like with a lot of people in power, when they don't want them to see certain things, they just gonna do everything they can to hide it. So they pretty much start doing everything to hide it. And then it's like the morning time, and I think Lizzie comes out with her sister, and she was like, you know, can I get the paper? Like, no, her sister goes to grab the paper, and then the servant grabs it and is like, no, that's not it. And she was like, what's going on? And Lizzie was like, why can't she get the paper? And he was like, oh, no, this paper is old. This is not the right paper, so we're gonna get the right paper. That was already suspect to Lizzie and her sister. Didn't make any sense. So then the servant goes and tells Charles pretty much, you know, and shows, and he's just like, I don't understand. She does everything she's supposed to do, and they still come for her. I understand. So what else we got here? Sorry. What else we got? And so, Charles I don't know who Charles was talking to, but Charles told somebody on the boat, like, pretty much call the prime minister, like, I want to have a conversation with the prime minister. Already being sneaky, already being super, super freaking sneaky. So then we have Lizzie and her sister. They see like this little lighthouse from their big ass yacht, and her sister's like, okay, like, I want to go over there and go see. So they pull out, they go see it, and as we can see, I think her name ain't it Margaret, right? She's still on that time, because she was like, who that little fine little specimen down there? And Lizzie was like, you're married. Lizzie, how many seasons are we in? Have you not been here for the seasons like we have? Do you not know your sister? Okay, I don't understand. So anyway, she was like, and who is he? Get with the program, Lizzie. Everybody ain't you. Everybody ain't you, girl. So then here comes the fight. So we go back to the boat with Diana and Charles. Now, from my, this is exactly what happened, because he lied. So the assistant, pretty much, somebody on the boat comes and tells Diana, we're actually going to be leaving early, because he has to go do like this speech thing. So Diana comes storming up to Charles and being like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Why are we leaving? We're leaving vacation early. I don't understand. And he's like, I have to do this Oxford speech or whatever. And she could tell it was bullshit. She was like, no, you don't. No, you do not. No, you don't. She knew that he was full of shit. And what it was is that he wanted to talk to the prime minister. I don't know if maybe he just didn't trust Diana enough to tell her, look, like, I want to go speak to the prime minister. Maybe he just didn't trust her enough to tell her that that's why he really wanted to go. And so let's get into the back and forth that they went into. So Diana is like, it's a rare thing for us to really sit up here and be together as a family. I think it was like a 2-week vacation she said that they was going to have together. And she was like, I even let you bring your friends with you since it's so hard for you to do that. Pretty much what she was saying is that we don't even ever have time to spend time together as a family unit. And I know that that's damn near, it's so painful for you to spend time with me and your children as a unit that I allowed you to bring your friend and his family on our family vacation just so that you could feel comfortable. Trash, Charles, trash. Why do you need a friend to spend time with you when you're supposed to be spending time with your family? Because you don't really want to spend time with them. You're doing it because it's out of obligation, not because you want to. And that was her whole thing. Like, even with me knowing that you really didn't want to be here, I still was like, all right, forget it. You can bring your friend with you to make you feel better about it if that's what you want to do. And now you want to leave. Ain't shit, Charles. Ain't shit, Charles, okay? And then Diana was like, and I even took them damn photos for you, in the public and stuff like that. And I already told everybody I would take the pictures of you being an adoring, loving husband under one condition. And he said, what? She said, that you actually are. When I said, but you better read. Read, Diana, read. Because let's really talk about it. As much as the monarchy disliked Diana, y'all kept her around for so long and didn't want her to leave because she actually made y'all likable. Diana made y'all more, quote unquote, relatable. So as much as y'all couldn't stand the fact that she was the most popular one and people liked her, y'all really needed her. And that, especially Charles, you needed Diana. And that was the most sickening part of it. First of all, I'm your wife, so we shouldn't even be doing this. But the fact of the matter is that you truly need me and you still want to treat me like shit. Negative. So they pretty much leave, okay? Because Charles ain't shit. Okay, so Charles pretty much goes to sit down and talk to the prime minister and pretty much talks to him about, he's like, well, did you read my book? And he was like, I mean, I guess I did. And so he was like, I really love the past and I love keeping with tradition. All of this whole conversation was the definition of usurping the throne. That's what he was doing behind his mama's back. He was talking to the prime minister, long story short, to pretty much put it out there. He was like, Queen Victoria, they called her mad because she didn't allow her son to take the throne. And people thought that he would do such a good job. And when he did, people loved him and all of that. You are such a snake, bruh. You really tried to usurp the throne behind your mama's back when she did nothing to you to deserve that. I ain't the best friends of Lizzie and I'm a dick into her ass sometime this episode. But like, that's your mama. That's how I know at the end of the day, you really ain't shit, Charles. That's your mom. That's your whole mother. I'm disgusted. So then we get back to the ship with Lizzie. Now, Lizzie can tell that everybody's being weird. So she called her assistant, whoever. I'm going to keep calling people assistant. She called the one assistant in the room and was like, okay, so what's going on? And he was like, what? And she was like, why is everybody being weird around me? He was like, I don't know what you mean. And she was like, you're being weird around me. What's going on? And he was like, there was something in the paper that was just terrible. And, we just didn't want to worry you about it. And she was like, so let me be the judge of that. So he pretty much got her the paper. And the lines that stuck out was like, half of the public wants her out. She's out of touch, old, and irrelevant. And I could tell that really hurt Lizzie's feelings. So then the prime minister pretty much goes to see Lizzie. Now, this part right here, baby. So Lizzie was like, I've seen the papers and I want to say one thing. I don't mind being compared to Queen Victoria, okay? Because she had a lot of great qualities and there's a lot of things that people liked about her, okay? And she was like, now, when it comes to the boat, now this is the yacht, obviously, that she's been on the whole time during this episode that we started off this episode with. Now, she said she understands that the repairs of the boat come from the government. And so she's asking for the money. Wait, is that what she said? Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, normally, now the yacht needs some upkeep pretty much. And she was like, I know normally, like the government would like handle that. So like, that's why you hear pretty much like, you gonna give us the money to fix the boat, like, and upkeep it, yay or nay. So the prime minister pretty much is like, well, before Thatcher left office, from my understanding, she went and she left you pretty much like, I guess she set up a fund for them where it was like a shitload of money. The way that he described it, it was like, it was more than enough money for you guys. So, set up to the side so that we wouldn't have to go through this back and forth of the government pretty much paying stuff for y'all. So like, long story short, like, what the hell happened to that money and why can't you use that? And so, Lizzie never really answered the question, but then he was like, for the most part, it's a luxury. Like, the yacht is a luxury. So people wouldn't be happy about that because government money is the citizens' money. So what you're saying is that you want the people, and mind you, this is during an economic downturn, okay? You want people to use their money to pay for your yacht and he said it's a luxury. And so then Lizzie said it's not a luxury because it's been around forever and it's necessary. What did she say? It's necessary to help serve the nation. And I have in all capital letters, in parentheses, lies to steal from others. And then she said, and it also provides a lot of revenue. Now, I don't know. I would have to do my research into how them going on these tours provide revenue. Now, from my understanding, the little bit of research that I did do on it, the tours started off because back in the day, the queens and the kings wanted to do the tours because they wanted people to know that they were still alive. And they wanted the people to know that, they were still a thing. So this is obviously pre-phones and all of this other stuff. So the tours was to go around and show the people that the queen, the king, whoever, they're still alive, they're still well. Now, I guess because of that just has always been the thing. But from my understanding, a lot of times it's just them going around to different countries and being like, hey, we're here, the monarchy. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, hey, we're the monarchy, we're here. But you're really going to a lot of these nations and stuff that you're going to nations that the entire monarchy and a lot of the UK really destroyed. Like, y'all colonized the hell out of a lot of the places that y'all go and visit. Y'all took from these people. You walking around with $1 million worth of jewels from places that y'all stole them from. Let's really have a conversation about it. Like, let's really talk about it, Lizzie. And so the prime minister was like, well, look, we're in a recession. So everything that we do at this point is being scrutinized. And that will look bad publicly. Facts, it will. So then Lizzie pretty much puts her big dog status on and was like, look, This is the only thing, the yacht is the only thing, that I have that's mine. She was like, when I got the throne, I inherited like all of these palaces, but the boat is actually mine. And I've given so much to this country, so you guys can do it. And I never asked for anything. So I'm pretty much now telling you guys that you are going to pay it. And my thing is, let's stop for a second. Let's go back. When she says, I've given so much to this country, this is the least that you can do. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the yacht. That is absolutely a luxury. You guys do not have to ride around like that for you to go around the nation. You don't have to ride around like that. You guys do not have to ride around like that. So let's really stop it. You could easily hop from plane to plane. You could easily charter a jet or something like that, but no. Or you could just get a regular sized boat and do it, but no, you want a mega yacht. And half the time it's mostly just you and maybe two other people, or you and your husband. So why do you need all of that room? Doesn't make any sense to me. Second of all, to be quite honest, Lizzie, have you given a lot to this country? I mean, I guess as far as you sacrificing maybe, I don't know, your own life, but let's not act like what you get in return isn't 1,000 times fold. You don't have to freaking work for real, for real. You get to sit up on your ass pretty much. You pretty much have people serve you day in and day out. Like I said, you get to go around and act like you're so high and mighty when you and your family, your wealth comes from being colonizers. Your wealth comes from blood. Your wealth comes from the extinction, the trying to extinct people. Okay? So let's not sit on some high horse and be like, y'all are going to do it for me because I don't ever ask y'all for anything, guys. You shouldn't ask for anything. And that's kind of what he's saying. Why should y'all even ask for anything? Where's all of y'all money? Where is y'all money? But you want to continuously lean on the citizens to pay for shit for you? Negative, Lizzie, negative. I was over it. And she really tried to flex and pretty much told him, like, I'm not asking, I'm telling you guys are going to pay for it, and it is what it is. And that's trash. Trash, Lizzie. Trash, 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 trash. So then they go to this bar that they pretty much been talking about. And Charles comes up to the prime minister and was like, I know what's going on. Like, I know you talked to my mom and I know she's going to make y'all pay for the boat. And I'm just telling y'all that I don't think that's going to go over well publicly, which we all know. Then Diana sees the prime minister and is talking to him and pretty much being like, like, we ain't going to last more than like 6 months, me and Charles. Like, this is done. And he's looking at her like, what? She was like, yeah, it's not going to last for much more longer than 6 months. And when it don't last and we done, it's going to be, she's like, it's just going to explode. That's just all that's going to happen. So at the end, we see the prime minister going to bed and he's pretty much talking to his wife, telling her how he's like completely fed up. Like, the monarchy is so out of touch. He was like, I don't even understand what we're doing here. Like, we're literally in the middle of an economic downturn. Everything is going insane right now. And y'all are just up here in the middle of where, just doing what? You're literally telling me that your 150,000 freaking foot yacht is not a luxury. It's not a luxury. But people can't even pay their daggone bills. Look at where you live. Look at how all of your children and your children's children live. We're not going to do that. And as much as I go up for Lizzie, y'all know I do. But let's really call a thing a thing. Let's not make it seem like Lizzie just gave and 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 nothing was ever returned. What are you talking about? You was born. You didn't even really have to do anything. You just automatically got it. Even if you wasn't queen, you still would have been set, period, just because of what you was born into. So like, let's really not talk about, what you've done for the country. What have you really done for the country? Let's really talk about it. I've watched the last couple seasons. I know some of the stuff that you stepped in and did, but on some real shit, what did you really do to help the people? Instead of taking from the people, how about that same amount of money that's going to cost millions of dollars probably to go into your shop? How about you take that, I don't know, and give it back? or leave it exactly where it is so that the government can do what they need to do with it. This is exactly why the monarchy is going to come to an end sooner rather than later. But y'all get in the comments, tell me what y'all think about the first episode. I'm out. Bye.